Greetings and salutations, humans. Welcome to the channel. This is your host, Putinbot. Today, I'm going to be coming to you, and I will be helping you with a guide on the Epic Champion Tallia. As of the time of this recording, there are promo codes that are out there available from Plarium, where you get Tallia for free whenever you set up a new account. So I figured this would be a good time to kind of go over this champion, go over her kit, show you where she's strong at, show you where she's not. My Tallia is level 60. She's fully booked out. I have got her fully built. And so I will do the very best that I can in my botany way of giving you a top-notch guide on this champion. First, let's kind of go over her aesthetics. She looks really good. If you like redheads, you're definitely going to like Tallia. The sword she has is pretty intense. It's bigger than she is. Definitely can do some damage on that if you're trying to chop down trees. It's pretty impressive. Let's go over her skills. She has a aura. Increase ally crit rate in dungeons by 15%. That aura is actually really good early game. So if you are a new player, and if you just got Tallia using the promo code, if you put Tallia in the front, you can build her with 85% crit rate, and then you'll be capped, you'll be good to go. Her A1, hack and slash, attacks one enemy 3 times. It's basic. It's a triple hitter on the A1, makes her viable for a mastery that's called Giant Slayer, which does a lot of damage. Her A2, rise to duty, places a 25% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit rate buff on the champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Now she has a tandem with another champion called Venax. I will do a guide on him at a future date. I have a Venax, I just haven't built him out. So I'm never going to cover this part of her kit. But she can place bombs if you run them together, long story short. Then her A3, Awesome Presence, places a counterattack buff on this champion for 2 turns, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff on enemies for 2 turns, and then that will buff up to 100%. Now, why this is relevant, what makes this so good, is that weaken just makes it where you do extra damage to an enemy whenever they get hit. It ignores your defense, it just adds extra damage. Works really well. Tallia is a great champion early game. I was fortunate enough I got her early on in my raid career, and she's the one that let me beat Faction Wars, for example, for the Sacred Order. She's just a really good attack-based champion. That said, she is very, very squishy. You have to build a team around her to keep her alive. That's the thing about this A3. The counterattack buff is good, but she has to survive through the hit for that to actually be viable. All in all, though, she is a great champion. Let me go ahead and show you the masteries I've got her in. I went down the offense tree and support. I went down and I took Giant Slayer. Again, just because I want to have that chance to just do extra damage on that 3-hitting A1. And also Methodical. Increases the damage inflicted by this champion's default skill by 2% each time it is used in battle. Stacks across each round in a battle up to 10%. Again, she has that counterattack buff, so she gets a lot of those slaps off using that A1. She's a really good champion. I did build some accuracy on my Tallia because I wanted her to land that weaken debuff. So I did go down the support tree, I took pinpoint accuracy, and I ended up in Master Hexer just to try and get a chance of extending that weaken debuff. The artifact set I've got her in a set that's called Savage. And what Savage does, it ignores 25% of an enemy's defense. So you'll be running this champion with a defense down. That's going to be someone's going to be able to reduce the amount of defense that the enemy team has. Tallia is going to come in, and she's going to do extra damage, especially if she has that weakened debuff up on the enemy as well. She hits really, really hard. Now, there is a case to be made instead of running your Tallia in Savage. and running what's called Lifesteal, which if you are a new player, Lifesteal would be what I would recommend because Tallia is difficult to keep alive. Her base stats are relatively low. I'm going to go over those with you here in just a moment. Yeah, this one just kind of show you the gear. I've got her in Savage. I've got her in Attack Chest. Speed boots are going to be pretty much mandatory on your Tallia. You are moving quick. You want her to go after your defense down, but you want to be going quick enough to be viable and do some damage. Got her in Attack Chest. Crit damage gauntlets. Early game, if you put her into a crit rate set, crit rate gauntlets, it's perfectly fine. But just as your gear gets better, you want to transition into crit damage gauntlets once you're able to start getting your crit rate from other pieces of gear. I've got her in a Savage Shield, Savage Helmet, and the weapon. Total stats on Tallia. Her base health is atrocious. Like I said, she's difficult to keep alive. You need to build a team around her, or she will be in the dirt a lot. At level 60, my Tallia is currently rocking just over 24,000 health. Very squishy. Her attack, though, is decent, 3,844. Crit rate is a little high at 104. Crit damage is 242. Not great, but decent. I said I use her primarily right now in Faction Wars. But I mean, she's a great champion. Early game, you are going to lean on Tallia a lot, and you could do a whole lot worse. Speed, I've got her going at 196, and I've got her going at 226 accuracy for her to be able to land those debuffs. Tallia can play pretty much anywhere. Early game, she is a great arena nuker. I'm not going to take her to the arena, but I will show you her in dungeons. So let's just go ahead and jump on over, and I will show you what she's able to do. I've put together some accessible free-to-play teams. So I'm going to take us into Dragon 20. This is a very accessible team. We're going to use Apothecary for spot heals and for turn meter boost. I'm running Tallia for defense down. Frozen Banshee, she is the win condition we're going to use to kill the dragon. She's the best rare poisoner in the game. She's one of the best rare champions, period, in the game. If you have Frozen Banshee, congratulations. Getting to the dragon will be the hardest part, but you get to the dragon, she can solo it. We got Skyle, you get her for free after 6 months, and of course, Tallia. Let's get into it, and y'all can see what she does. And there we have it, folks. We just cleared Dragon's Lair Stage 20 without any difficulty at all. We had Skyle in there for crowd control, also gave us passive healing. Have Apothecary in there for patch heals, also to give us a turn meter boost. Tallia for damage did a solid job. She came in at 1.3 million damage. And Frozen Banshee came in second with 1.1 million. Frozen Banshee got all of her damage off of the dragon. Whereas Tallia, she went in and she did the majority of her work with the waves. She helped us get to the dragon, and Skyle kept her alive. Had Tallia for the defense down and the debuff extend. She's a great champion. If you have Tallia, congratulations. I have a guide on her. She's a great champ. Let's see what these are. These are rubbish. Goodbye. And let's hop over to Ice Golem. Okay, folks, so we are in Stage 20 of Ice Golem. We've got Vergis in the lead. We've got Tyrell for our defense down. We have Tallia in here for damage. We have got Kale, and we've got Skyle the Drakes. Let's hop on in and see how this goes. And there we have it. We've got Ice Golem 20 in the bag. Let's compare damage. So Tallia came in at 1.9 million damage. Tyrell came in at 1.5 million. And actually, Kale just barely beat out Tyrell. He came in at 1.17 million, whereas Tyrell came in at 1.14 million. So very close, very comparable. As y'all can see, Tallia does a lot of work. If you are looking for someone on your roster who can just deal a crap ton of damage, you can do a whole lot worse than Tallia. That's just a fact of life. She hits like a freaking truck. Let's go ahead and go into... I'm going to show you one other dungeon here. Let's just go and go into Fire Knight's Castle. I'm not sure why I left the Dungeons tab, but, you know, hey, what can you do, right? I think here... Yeah, this team looks good. I think this will work. So we've got Deacon Armstrong in the lead. He has a speed aura. He'll be our defense down. We've got Tallia. Now, Tallia for Fire Knights 20 is weak affinity. So she will be getting hit a lot. Actually, thinking about it, let's go into stage 25. That way she'll be strong affinity. I will show y'all how she works with the big boys. How about that? We'll go ahead and set up a preset for her. Stage 3. We will not use this, and we will set this up as the opener. This way, when we get to the Fire Knight, she will open up with her A1 just to help get the shield down. And we'll be good to go. So let's see how Tallia does on Fire Knight stage 25. Deacon Armstrong, we've got Yumiko, we've got Ninja, we've got Allure, and we have got Tallia. So 2 legendaries and 3 epics. Let's get into it. And there we have it, folks. Fire Knight Stage 25 is done. Let's go ahead and compare damage. No surprise, Ninja comes in with the lead. For those of you who don't have him, I apologize. I hope that one day Plarium has some kind of event we're able to get him again. He's just a great champion. He came in at 2.6 million damage. Deacon Armstrong 577,000. Allure just over 1 million. And Tallia coming in second place with 1.4 million damage. I mean, she's a great champion. If you're early game, I can promise you, you are going to run her till the wheels fall off. She's a great champion. Y'all just saw what she's able to do. I took her through 3 different dungeons. I'm not going to take Tallia into the arena because her masteries are wrong for it. If you are early game, or if you're trying to use Tallia as your arena nuker, instead of going into Giant Slayer like I've got my Tallia in, you're going to want to go into Helm Smasher. That way she has an extra chance of ignoring even more defense and just hitting harder. If I had her in the correct mastery, I would take her in. I'm just not sure it would be worth it to even show y'all in it right now because she just doesn't have the masteries for it. I mean, she's a great champion. I don't know what else I can say. She just does a lot of damage. She's accessible. She's an affinity epic. You're able to get her off of Sacreds and Ancient Shards. As far as books goes, she takes 2, 3, 4, 5. But 13 books, so not the end of the world. And the A1 just gives you damage, so there is an argument to be made where if you're lucky, and if you get books into the A2 and the A3, you can stop there. But as you can see, I did go and book out my Tallia completely because I want her dealing as much damage as she does, because that is her main utility, is helping kill the enemy quicker. Well, y'all, I guess I'll go ahead and end the video here. If you like this video, if you please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, toss me a subscribe. Really helps out a whole lot. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I'm your host, PutinBot. Thank you again, and I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.